Okay, so today we're going to be making 1 pound of honey, but the difference now is that we're going to be doing this with room temperature honey. So I'm in a little bit of a warm room, so that's going to vary a little bit. But this honey is 76 degrees. So we're going to pour that in there, and we're going to see how fast this machine can make honey sticks with room temperature honey, and we're going to adjust the pressure as we go to see what kind of difference that makes. I've got a kind of a makeshift stopwatch here, just so we can kind of keep an eye on the time and how fast it's making honey. Again, we're going to be using our 15 straw holder with our higher end impulse sealer. So we'll go ahead and call that good. Oh. Okay. So let's put on our lid. A little bit of an extra tie down. All right, now we got our pump on. We're using a different pressure gauge than we normally do, but it should be just fine. Before we pressure it down, make sure our valve is turned off, and we're going to start to pump this up. We're going to first put it at 15 psi. We're going to do, let's say, 5 straws. Then we'll go to 20 and then 25 psi, and that'll get us to our first batch. Just so we can see how this speed changes as we go. Actually, I'm making this up as we go. We're going to do 3 straws. That way we can do 15, 20, 25, and 30. Alright, so we're going to call that 15 psi. Should settle by the time we get our pump off and get moving. So this is 15 psi, room temperature honey. And let's go ahead and start this timer. What we care about mainly here is, you know, how fast with the timer. Anyway, let's just burp the machine. There we go. Wasn't actually too much of a burp. Turn this on, and it's filling up our straw. You can see it's really wanting to drag down more than it's wanting to push the straw off. And we can see that this is going pretty slow. Our next one we're going to time. Go ahead and time this one. So we're going to start when our timer hits 54. There we go. All right, so that took 10 seconds to fill our straw. Now let's go ahead and bump this up to 20 psi. That should settle nicely at 20 psi. And let's start this once it hits 39. There we go. So that's already down to 8 seconds. So we're 2 seconds faster on 5 psi. Starting it right at 2 minutes. Yeah, it's 2.5 seconds faster. We'll do one more straw here. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring this up to 25 psi. There we go. That is 25 psi. And let's see how this goes. I do want to wipe down because my tube's getting kind of sticky, which is going to slow it down, but oh well, we're going to move forward. 13. It's 19, so that was what, 6 seconds? And see when I started this one. Let's try this one more time. Starting it right at 39. Yeah, so that's about 6.5 seconds to fill the straw at 25 psi. I guess let's go ahead and just go to 30 psi and see what our final number is. This is normally you would only want to do 30 psi if you're using something like creamed honey or something crazy like that. Most of the time this is going to be a lot more pressure than what you need. You can see the machine was working fine at 25, so this is kind of normally a lot more pressure than what you would need. But we are working with room temperature honey. Okay, let's see. 44. Yeah, so that's what, 5.5 seconds. Yeah, so that's 5 to 5.5 seconds to fill a straw at room temperature at 30 psi. Go ahead and just make this 15. So I think our recap was 10 seconds at 15 psi, 8 seconds at 20 psi, 6 to 7 seconds on 25 psi, and 5 seconds on 30 psi. Just seal these straws. We've got a nice gap. Air bubbles on the top. Push this down. We're going to hold it down for 6 seconds after the light clicks off, which I'm watching with my pinky. Lights off. Hold it down for additional 6 to 10 seconds. And there we go. Let's just go ahead and test our seals. Good, good. Ooh, that one's weak. We're going to redo that one. Let's just take these off. That one's fine. Alright, so we're going to redo that seal that was weak. The rest of these are all fine. Since we're only sealing one straw here, I'm going to turn my temperature down to 2.5. Hopefully this doesn't just bleed through. Okay, so we've got to turn our heat up. We're going to go 3.5. Four. There we go. That's a good seal. Okay, so it's one sealed at 4. So those are our straws. This is how the machine works at different pressure levels at room temperature honey. Hope you found that helpful. Thank you for watching. Happy beekeeping.